I went for Superman the other day, and this is literally how I sat through the movie. Because I was afraid I would break my neck from the tonal whiplash. After nearly a decade of brooding and grunting and floating around in air moodily in grayscale, Superman has finally put on some emotional and visual color. With 100 other things also going on, does this reboot bring back the long missing pulse in DC movies? Or does it totally miss the mark by trying too hard? Let me start by saying that it is borderline reckless of James Gunn to try to reinvent a superhero whose chaddi ka color has been universally known since 1938. I mean, the guy is basically a cultural fossil at this point. And after years of Henry Cavill's jawline, you know you're risking a project that could get memed to death almost immediately. The solution Gunn seems to have settled for is to balance elements of surprise with familiarity, which works to some extent. The first familiar element has to be the lead actor himself, because why does David Corenswet look like Henry Cavill's younger cousin? Talk about easing the new guy into the audience's psyche. The next aspect you will find very familiar is the very treatment of superhero movies. But the similarity is with the Marvel movies, not the DC ones. James Gunn's movies have a particular style to it. Think Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. So his heroes are not perfect, sanskari, godlike creatures. They have quirks, self-doubt, they are more relatable. Though I don't really want Superman to be relatable, I'm happy with him being some deity level god person. Anyway, he knows the audience for DC and Marvel overlap, so why not take a tried and tested formula which has been a success and just use it for Superman? The characters therefore are very black and white. So the bad guys are out and out villains, the good guys have no shade of grey. It's easy on the brain. That's exactly what happens here. Clark Kent is very true to his comic book version. So he's a good guy, he loves his parents, both aliens and earthlings, he saves innocent people, he stands up to injustice, and he loves his girlfriend, maybe, I can't be too sure, because the censor board thought that it would be really nice to preserve the scene where he's yelling at Lois.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me, and people were going to die.
But they cut the two scenes where they're kissing. Now let's talk about the surprise elements that makes it distinct from the previous versions. Color. Itna zyada color, oof, every frame is saturated with fun colors that it's actually difficult to take the crisis seriously. The dog. Honestly, this Superman had zero chances of survival without the mutt. From the opening scene to the last big fight, it is literally this ugly dog in a cape that saves his glutes. Introducing the dog, Crypto, was actually very cute and fresh, but I also think there was a little too much focus on it. But the most unexpected part was the opening of the movie itself, which defies how traditional superhero movies are customarily made. Especially the ones that are made over and over again. Think Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. And I'm talking about completely eradicating the canon event in their life. So every time there's a reboot, somebody's parents dies, or somebody's uncle is murdered, or somebody's bitten by a kida, or a spaceship crashes into an alien planet. As repeated as it may be, it is something we look forward to. This movie completely skips it and gives you a tiny essay instead. So it's like you have to read through 3 centuries pehle kya hua, then 3 decades pehle kya hua, then 3 years, all down to 3 minutes back in the timeline. What? Cool move, but it is difficult to forge a bond with the character without the backstory. Forge a bond. You know what I mean. See, it's common knowledge that the DC movies was a sinking ship. And it may make sense that James Gunn went all out to save it. But maybe he's gone a little too out and put in so many themes in one movie that it's become a little busy. Let's count. There's the political tension between Earth and Kryptonian legacy issues. There is an emotional subplot about an alien refugee, nature over nurture. evil bald tech billionaire funding a conflict which a US website likened to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but the rest of us know which occupation situation it's talking about. But we are not done yet. Then there's the Pocket Universe, introduction of 3 members of the Justice League. There is a weird shape-shifting alien father and a green baby. I'm still trying to figure out what the movie wanted me to feel. Was it hope? Was it nostalgia? Or did I just walk out after watching a really expensive mood board for 2 hours? More than 2 hours. So quickly, here are the things that I liked about the movie. It was fun, it had a hilarious non-conformist flying dog, a retro musical score, a really spunky Lois Lane who's a massive upgrade from the last one, and the fact that David does not look too different from Henry Cavill, jawline. And here's what I thought could have been different. The whole trope about the world coming to an end unless a superhero reverses the situation. Same old scenes of collapsing skyscrapers. A Lex Luthor who's basically a bald tech bro obsessed with the universe and shouting alphanumerical combinations and not doing much else to show his evil side. He threw a pencil at his girlfriend. He shouldn't have done that. Add to the list the gross underutilization of Wendell Pierce and Nathan Fillion, and also the very start of the movie, which made me feel I walked in 30 minutes late. Is the movie perfect? Absolutely not. It's overstuffed, occasionally tonally very inconsistent, and at times it feels like Gunn has made 3 different movies and just stuck them together with sellotape and VFX. But despite having a plot which is dense enough to have its own gravity, it is undeniably fun and fresh, and it does not leave you with existential dread. And that gives Superman what it did not have in a long time: a pulse. Yay! That's it for Superman. I am Jessica. I watch movies and I talk about movies on my channel. Subscribe for more. Like, share.